Self-sabotage. It is a huge problem. I see it a lot from clients I help, but also like other people inside of the community, but also with myself. Like I am on this like this personal development journey for already 4 years already, something like that, and I constantly experienced self-sabotage. Like I had way more relapses and setbacks than I would like to admit. So probably even more than I can count. Because like what was happening was this. Like at first I was it always starts when you're in a rut, when you're in your absolute lowest place. Okay, so this is the baseline. This is the baseline. And you start personal development because you're not happy with your life or with yourself, for example. So you start when you're in a very low place here. Then when you're in a low place, you get like angry at yourself, you're in a lot of pain, so you think, okay, I need to change. Then what basically happens is you start removing the bad habits and start doing the good habits, and your life will improve and you will see a lot of progress. And then when you're up, you're reaching this plateau, because what happens is, well, sometimes you might see some success, you feel pretty complacent because you think, oh, look at all of the progress that I made, basically. So you will say, like this is great, I made so much progress, I deserve some rest. Famous last words. I deserve some rest. I told myself this a lot of the times, and basically what I did was just doing my bad habits all over again. What is important to realize is rest is not the same as stimulation. If you want to rest, go take a walk, go read a book, don't watch videos, play video games, or use any drugs or whatever. So what happens when you make all of this progress? You feel complacent, and then you get lazy. So what happens then is you will go back down, then you will be in a lot of pain, so you will need to change your life again, and you will basically do this constant cycle of, but you will never get anywhere, because you have moments where everything is going well, and you have moments when nothing is going really, everything is going bad. But when you look at the baseline, the average, it stays the same. So a lot of people are stuck in these cycles of self-sabotage. And I managed to overcome it. I managed to, like find a way on how to deal with it. And basically that is what I want to share with you right now. So first things first, the first thing we need to understand is what self-sabotage actually is. And it is basically the following. So this is your, this is you. This is you, but you are not happy. This is your current situation. You are not where you want to be. This is your new self, and your ideal self that has achieved the goal you want to achieve, basically. So what is happening is your old identity, like who you used to be or who you are at the moment, and your new identity, they are playing like tug of war. They are constantly pulling each other, and basically like this is, like tug of war. There's here the middle, and there are here basically like this. So, and this is like the part, this is like the middle part. So what happens is, like, your old identity is taking certain actions, is taking certain, has certain thoughts, has certain beliefs, for example, and these are part of your identity. But in order to achieve your goal, you need to transform into the new identity. And the new identity has new beliefs, new thoughts, new actions, basically. It is a whole complete other personality. And these two are constantly like playing tug of war. And these two, they are both entities. They are like real, like identity. I will not go into like the really depth of what identity actually is, but what you have to understand is these two are entities. And entities, what do they want to do? They want to survive. Every entity, every creature, everything, it wants to survive. Your new identity wants to survive, but your old identity also wants to survive. So what will happen is when you start taking the actions, once you start changing your beliefs, once you start actually improving yourself, then you will go back to that side. But what will happen is your old identity, he doesn't want to go. He still wants to survive. So that is why you feel this like pullback, basically. So it is important to become more aware of it, like why it actually happened. Why when I start improving my life, do I feel this constant pullback? Or why do self-sabotage? Why does it happen? And it happens because your old identity is still way too strong. It doesn't want to go. So we just have to become aware of it, basically. Become aware of that we have this pullback in the first place, and then we have to move forward despite it. Because what happens is when you're just starting out, when you're in the beginning stages of your transformation, the middle point isn't here, but it is probably like here. Your old identity is winning because your new identity isn't strong enough. So this one is way too strong. So that is why when you're beginning, the pullback is much higher. But what happens is when you keep moving forward despite it, when you keep feeding your new identity by taking the actions that your new identity would take, by having the beliefs that your new identity, by having the paradigm, and eventually what will happen is your new identity will start winning. And when you're still here, it is really difficult. You don't have a good time. This is constant suffering. Then when it's in the middle, it's like decent. But when you get more towards this side, when your new identity starts to win, then it is become pretty much effortless to be consistent. Like at this, I feel like I'm in this point right now where when I'm not consistent, where I am not taking the habits, where I'm not doing the habits that will directly take me to my goal, it feels even more painful as doing the tasks themselves. So this is what we should realize. And when you are still here and you are feeling a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, a lot of procrastination, a lot of discomfort, what you have to realize is that is normal. Like that is a way for your old identities to survive. And that also means that what I also noticed is that the periods, I don't see discomfort and fear and doubt as a bad thing, because these are just signs. These are signs that you are actually growing, that you are transforming. Like if I'm not experiencing discomfort, I mean, or like any fears or any doubts, or when I don't feel lost, when these things are not happening, there is something wrong, because that means I am not progressing, I'm not growing. This is super, super, super important to realize. Discomfort is growth. Discomfort is growth. Repeat this to yourself many times, because it is true. The more discomfort you're in, the more lost that you are, the more you actually grow. And this is really paradoxical, because when you are lost, when you feel incompetent, you feel like you're not making any progress. But these are the times that you are feeling progress, because you step outside of your comfort zone. So yeah, when you're experiencing those things and you're experiencing self-sabotage, know that it is the old identity that is just trying to survive and move forward despite it. So yeah, good luck.